Poddy, hello, and welcome to episode 56 of the PoddyC. A commenter last week said it looked like I spent all of December sitting in one spot and letting all my hair grow, which is pretty close to accurate. So, good catch. Next week, I'm going to be clean shaven. I'm going to get a haircut, shave. Yeah, be it.
Wait,
But,
why? Why,
well,
why are you so overgrown?
I've been marinating. I've been sitting in my chair,
Like whenever I get like
vibing.
that, it's just because I'm being excessively lazy.
Yes,
You're being
exactly.
excessively lazy.
Unbelievably, yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. But this weekend I'll, shave it off. We'll be
Do
good.
you have a full beard right now, Dorky?
No, I actually just recently shaved.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
What sort of
Normally, I'm pretty lazy too and unkempt.
okay. Yeah.
Well, I will say my hair is at its longest,
How long?
like down to my shoulders.
Whoa.
Oh
I've
shit.
never had my hair this long in my life.
Dude, now I don't know anything about what Dorky looks like, so I'm just the only piece of information I know is that he has hair down to his shoulders.
But that's
Yeah,
all right.
I'm imagining him as like Dave Grohl now.
Yeah, can you like put it in a ponytail if you wanted to?
Yeah, like a man bun, pretty much.
Oh hell yeah.
Shit.
The longest I ever had it was like halfway there during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never actually had my hair this long before, and I'm just like, fuck it, might as well give it a shot. I'm not ever leaving my house anyways. It's
Guys,
actually so much more work than I ever expected having longer hair.
this this week has been so my brain is fried, man. Like this raid testing schedule is so brutal. I know that doesn't affect a lot of people, but like it's just I am so raid I was actually looking at stuff earlier for the testing tomorrow and I actually just had to stop. I was just like, I'm too raid bossed out. I can't even think. I've just been doing this too much.
Yeah. Time to go do a podcast where we talk about World of Warcraft for a couple
That's
hours.
exactly yeah, but it's like different than that, I guess. I don't know. You're not like just like stuck in raid plans for just 8 hours like I was earlier.
Yeah.
Um
For those who haven't been following PTR, they are basically like over the course of like a 7 day period, we're testing pretty much every boss on normal, heroic, and mythic. It's kind of a crazy like blitz of content.
yeah, it's never happened. I want to say I don't even know if all of that has ever happened in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's probably been like 2.5, and now it's like almost 7 days. Where outside of, yeah, I mean like today 3 heroic bosses, tomorrow 3 mythic bosses, Friday 4 mythic bosses, and they're all the 4 like hardest, most challenging mythic bosses. So it's like so involved. It's just like a big grind.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize we're on mythic bosses already. Yeah, like even on the M plus testing, they haven't been getting them up on time. I don't know if you guys have like noticed or paid attention to that at all. Because they were
I,
supposed to be up on Tuesdays, right, on PTR, but they
Yeah.
haven't been coming up, and it's been delayed like 2-3 days.
yeah. It reminds me of, do you remember there was that PTR cycle where they only had M plus up on the weekends and everybody
Yeah,
complained about it? And that's basically what's happening this time, except by accident, or like because it's not ready to go up rather than because
Yeah.
that was the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the classes, like there's classes that are super broken, both positively and negatively. But I don't know. I feel like every time I'm not even that concerned about that. I feel like every time the community is like, everything is so unprepared, whether it's before an expansion, with the exception of Shadowlands, like getting delayed, rightfully so. It was like just super not ready. But like for every patch and like expansion release since then, everyone's like, the game is not complete. And then it ends up just kind of just always being the same level of like kind of fine, like the same level of you need like 2 or 3 hot fixes in the first couple weeks after the season comes out, but that's just what you're used to at this point. I feel like it'll be like that, but it does feel like kind of especially bad this time. Like this stuff is just kind of not working. Although the raid bosses are maybe fine. Just it just seems like the class tuning is like a little behind right now.
this feels like deja vu. I swear we talked about this on maybe it was like the 1.5 patch, and then there was Dragonfly or not Dragonfly, War Within
We probably do this every patch.
beta.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but it's definitely like it's definitely crept up on us because you know how it started in season 4 of Dragonflight when we were talking about how it was a buggy patch, but it didn't really matter because it was season 4, and then Warfin came out, and then like there's like some of that whole debacle, and then there's the point 5 patch where we had outlaw rogues that were just abusing bugs and broken Ellie Shaman, and, just like the game was kind of all sorts of fucked, and it definitely felt like it's been creeping up on us, and we're paying for the price of quicker cadence and just like overall faster expansions.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it just the kind of the order with which they do different things seems like it's changed. Like I think that the raid fights being mostly complete and sensible didn't used to be true at this point, but classes were kind of further along, and now it feels like the raid fights are further along and classes are less far along.
That's very true.
That seems like something that like has been a shift over the past maybe 2 years of PTR testing and stuff. I don't want to make any claims about what's going to be ready or not when it comes out. In terms of the raid fights, they all are like pretty close to functional, right? Like there weren't ones where it's like this is a historically buggy raid test, right? Like there have been in the past. There have been some bosses that are bugged in incredible and hilarious ways. Although I will say, it does feel like the complexity level from boss to boss is a pretty huge like roller coaster. Like there are some bosses like
where do you think that jumps? Where do you think those jumps happen?
Like even Rick Reverb, which is an early boss, has a lot going on, and then there's like Cauldron.
What do you mean
Carnage.
an early boss? Like this raid is a really interesting layout. Like you kill the first boss, and then you can immediately go to 5. So if you guys want to think of it like Nerebar Palace, or 4 up to the 5th boss, imagine killing the first boss, and then you could go to either Rashanan, Brood Twister, Sikran, or the second boss, whatever that boss's name was. That is how this raid is set up. So it's weird where Rick Reverb is supposed to be like an early boss, but it also could be supposed to be like a Rashanan, which isn't technically an early boss. Or I guess, it looks like they want Sprockenmonger, I think, to be Brood Twister, I think.
Yeah.
Or Styx. Like, yeah, it's just, it's weird. You would assume that's one of the like easier ones, but it does seem like after the first 2, there's a big jump. Like this tier, I highly doubt, just based on their initial mechanical complexity, that there will be a 1 through 4 like kill quickly to Rashanan. The idea that you would kill either Styx and Rick Reverb or Rick Reverb and Sprocketmonger, just like you killed Sikran and Rashanan, seems really unlikely. Like mechanically so much more difficult.
Yeah, 100%. And then dude, the last few bosses as well, like Muggsy, even Muggsy Heroic was like nuclear difficulty, and then you look at the mythic mechanics on that thing and it's completely absurd. So that
I'm okay with Muggsy.
Yeah, me too.
I think Muggsy. So the problem with Muggsy's normal and heroic testing was the little shocker bot chain lightning thing was just doing 10x damage and chaining infinitely for no reason. So that was just a bugged mechanic that was mostly killing. I think like the mechanics seemed mostly doable and they all made sense. The Mythic is kind of cool. I actually like the way that Mythic works on that. What do you think of the one-armed bandit guy?
Oh, that boss is so cool. That's like, so it's a slot machine and it has these intermissions where different attendants will jump down with different icons above their heads, and you kill different combos of your choice and then deposit the coins in, and you have to do a different one each time. You can't repeat combos, and then they each cause slightly different intermissions to happen, but none of them are like too complicated or annoying, right? They're all kind of fine.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely interested to see how Mythic testing goes on that, because that's the 2 big things of that is it takes the tank area denial and it I guess randomly chains to 2 other people. So like your group positioning is going to have to be very specific, and also you have to roll those coins through the ads to be able to kill them, and that is like some very precise line. I could see that being a mechanically very annoying fight.
Yeah,
for sure.
There's a mechanic that we didn't use on Heroic really, where you can click the coils to like re-trigger them and vacuum up some of the tank ground puddles. And that might, I think the idea is you're supposed to use that on Mythic to clean the ones that are randomly placed. Yeah. That's
So how far along are we on Mythic testing?
So we haven't started Mythic yet.
We haven't.
We're doing all 7 non-end bosses tomorrow and Friday of
Friday.
Mythic.
Yeah. So Mythic tested hasn't started, but in 2 days it will be over.
Yeah. By the time this video comes out, it may have happened as
crazy.
well. I don't know what the scheduling, but we're recording this on the Wednesday, so yeah, we've just finished Heroic testing and normal testing, and now we're going to do all of Mythic in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. Also, they didn't do a build yet this week, and it's pretty common this early into raid testing to see a lot of boss changes in between like builds. Like, I mean, just last PTR build to the one that we're currently on, they like completely changed Mythic of the second to last boss, for example, like completely different. So that could happen again. In fact, so what might happen is we're testing Mythic over the next 2 days, but tomorrow morning or Friday morning, we might wake up to a new PTR build, and everything we've been preparing for is now is now different. Not everything, but a lot of things that you've been preparing for. It's very. I can tell you, it is extremely like taxing on my brain. I am very like overloaded at the moment. This is a very. I know. Also, isn't like TGP time trials or something happening right now?
Yeah, like literally right now. So
I don't know if there's anyone in a top guild who's competing in that, but if they are, I promise you they are going through absolute hell right now, or they are majorly slacking on one of those two things, and there's no in between.
There's a lot of these guys. Like I'm looking at the leaderboard right now. There's Mastein, Soda, Stove. God, I don't remember who else is on this, but yeah, there's quite a bit of people competing at the moment. It's gonna be chaotic for a bit.
I mean, you just can't practice like unless you are removing yourself from the testing, which maybe you're doing that. It's not just the testing. There's like after testing meetings. There's pre-testing meetings that are very lengthy to like make sure you're actually prepared for these. And that I just like I don't know. You're literally just gonna have to take days off for time trials. Pretty sure.
Wait, and how long did you say it's going for? The next 2 days, right?
Yeah, next 2 days.
Yeah. So it's like it's basically 3 to 4 hours of actual in-fight testing time over the next 2 days, and probably depending on what guild you're in, an equal amount of time to that in meetings.
Yeah, this time trial ends in 4 days, so
yeah,
not a whole lot of time.
Yeah, that's. I mean, to be fair though, because it's TGP and it's cup based, I don't think it really matters as long as you qualify. And at least from what I can tell from the teams that we think are being that didn't happen in the TGP, I would like to think that all of those players that you just mentioned, the teams that they're on, are very likely to still qualify for a cup. And then other than that, it's just about seeding, but seeding doesn't matter in TGP. It's like, as long as you're in a cup, you're good. I guess you maybe don't want to end up in a cup with like 4 good teams or something. But like
the less that seeding, like the more that good teams are tanking their seeding, the less that a seed even
more
helps
random.
you do
It's
that.
It's going to be so random. Yeah, you could get the second seed and get totally fucked because these teams are like just getting in barely, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like this is also going to be kind of rushed. I believe the first cup happens like what, February 1st or something like that?
Yeah, so it's like not this weekend, but next weekend is cup 1. So
they're going super speed on all this.
Yeah, time trials. When do time trials end? It's
4 days from now.
Okay, so you would have time to come in and, like finish raid testing and then, blitz up a key on Saturday.
Yeah, immediately get some prep going.
Yeah, it's like it's possible, right? And unlike the bad news is that all the testing was super condensed, so you had no time to do it this week. The good news is testing is done after this week unless they have a boss they need to retest, right? So,
yeah.
There's kind of going to be free time to fully focus on TGP.
So if
you have the bandwidth.
You guys are saying that TGP is rushed. Do you mean like it's rushed than the original schedule, or do you mean like?
Yeah. Normally there's a bit more of a delay in between.
Yeah, the gap between time trials and the first cup is like a week less than usual.
So when do you guys think the patch is coming out?
Probably end of February, if I were to guess, or beginning of March. Either way.
I mean, if they're rushing it, it makes me feel like it would probably be on the earlier end, right? Because if there was an option, and this tier is weird, there's no simultaneous, or there is a simultaneous release of all the difficulties, so it would just be 1 week and then Mythic from whatever the actual date is. So we may be like, what is it right now? We could be almost in Mythic progression in like 5 or 6 weeks from now, potentially, if you just go off of when it could possibly come out. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so TGP, the finals is February 14th to 16th. So the most accelerated possible calendar you could think of, like, if you think like, okay, they squeeze TGP to be as late as possible, that could be a Tuesday the 18th patch, right? And then
that sounds fucking crazy.
Then
really.
Tuesday the 25th of February could be the start of the Race to World First. My suspicion is that there's probably an extra week or two in there.
Yeah, a week
I mean, I feel like there's got to be more time in between, because like there's also Season of Discovery coming out on the 8th or 28th, and then there's next Ramus raid on February 6th. So
at a certain point, though, they got to stop
delay.
Coordinating too much between now. There's like 30 different classics, right?
Yeah. I mean, but it definitely feels like they've seen the other side of.
Yeah, actually, that happened with Diablo
WoW too. Yeah.
Do you see they moved the D3 season back a week because the D4 season just came out?
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, there's still D3 seasons?
Yep, D3. They're basically just recycling.
I mean, D3 is a
seasons.
good game.
Yeah, they're just running back old seasons that were popular, which it's good tech.
Yeah,
It's good
I mean,
tech.
I didn't even play Diablo this season. I had no urge to, even though I loved the last season. It's purely just the idea that I would be finding any time in my life to play Diablo 4 this week is mind blowing to me. There's no way I could, like, an hour a day maybe, and then it's like, what are you even doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean, right? Like you want to kind of have like nothing going on, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, I already have
case is,
something I
like-
can grind. Like, I could log on to Plunderstorm right now and play. I genuinely love playing Plunderstorm. It is awesome. So, like, I could be doing that. And I even have a tournament on Saturday. I've played Plunderstorm for like 4 total hours. The last time I did a Plunderstorm tournament, I probably played it all day, every day leading up to it. There's just no time. Like, it's just coming out with infinite things going on. So if anyone's listening to this, please do not. I mean, you can charge at our team if you want, but you have to fight Trill. So just know that if you're going to act on this information, that will
It's
happen.
looking real competitive this time around, the Plunderstorm tournament. They've brought in a lot of big PvPers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some people that missed last time, right? The invite that was like the big time PvPers that largely
do.
got in this time.
You
Yeah.
didn't get in
Oh, yeah.
again.
Well, I feel like this time is pretty justified because I haven't clicked start streaming in like months, so that's
Yeah.
I wouldn't invite me either.
I would invite you, DRATNOS.
Yeah, they didn't even invite the people who won the last tournament, which I found kind of interesting.
Oh, I actually didn't notice that.
Who
Yeah,
won
but
last tournament?
wasn't it like I mean, I don't even remember their names, but I think I would remember them if I read them,
Okay.
and then I remember reading the list and didn't think they were there. Maybe I'm wrong, by the way. But yeah, last time we won as many games as anyone else did. We just didn't win them at the right time. I think we won 2 games and Zara and Pika won 2 games.
Right.
Apparently it's the same format, so
This
it
like
doesn't
checkmate format, right?
exactly like getting a bunch of kills and getting wins early gives you, I think, a match where you can like win earlier,
Mhm.
but also like everyone's gonna try to grief you if they can because they know that you can potentially win. And then it's like the next max, it's like the top 10 teams, which should be like pretty easy to get. And then after that, it's everyone, right? So it's all about winning at the right time, which is, a little random, which is good though, because I feel like I know there are other teams that are playing all day, every day in duos, and I've played with Trill for like 4 hours because I'm just doing this all the time and recording a podcast right now. And yeah,
TFT uses that format for some of their stuff as well. It's I
the
think
only
it does
one that
make some
works.
sense.
it's
But-
so yeah. So I know a lot of people were mad last time. I think mostly because I think like more than 50% of the viewership was watching Zaryu and Peekaboo's stream. So all of the outcry was because more than half of the total viewership was rooting for one specific duo who, like, if you're used to Battle Royale tournaments, they did this. Like from PUBG to Fortnite to Apex, they did the like purely competitive integrity Battle Royale format where the best team who plays the best during the like all the games wins. But it turns out that's omega boring and no one ever wants to watch that. It's a terrible esport format. So all of the Battle Royale like esports moved away from it. So it at least is somewhat exciting. Like I think Apex like kind of revolutionized it where like you can see more people win later. But there is competitive integrity faults in it. It's just that it's kind of unwatchable without that. Battle Royale is just built bad for esports.
Yeah, I mean, it would
Right.
also make more sense if they were more competitively or like similarly competitive level teams, because that format makes a lot of sense when you have 30 good teams, but when you have like maybe 5 to 10 good teams and the rest don't really even play, it just feels really weird.
Well, also, I think you have to think of like the main reason that the tournaments exist. So why does the ALGS exist, which is like the Apex? It's some acronym. I think it's that for the Apex tournament. Why does that exist? It's to show off the best of the best in esports in Apex. Why does the Plunderstorm Creator Royale exist? Does it exist for that reason? Absolutely not. It exists for the reason of marketing WoW and like there's a lot of viewership last time. It's just a excuse to get a lot of people to watch WoW for any reason to advertise it. And that is so the point of the tournament alone is not competitive integrity. So seeing the rule set be more fun and more random seems like something they would obviously do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense in a lot of cases to, like, you don't want just to do a coin flip or anything like that. You want skill to still matter, but you kind of want, like, who played well at the clutch moment rather than like who is the best player if we ran this simulation 100 times to always be the same winner. Yeah.
Yeah. At least now you can like choose your landing position. Before it was like, well, I think we got totally screwed by landing position. We landed on like the right side of the map, which used to be so much worse than it is now. Like almost every single game, and now you can kind of like land in the same spot every game, which is kind of interesting to see how that plays out in the tournament, by the way, because like Fortnite, for example, all the top teams like know where the other teams land. Like you have landing spots predetermined. It'd be interesting to see over the first few games if like people start like, you know, claiming spots, if that makes sense.
So I haven't played too much Plunder. I remember a problem with it last time was that if you got in a level 1 fight, it was like disastrous even if you won because you just wasted so much time and didn't accomplish anything. Is that still true? Because that's something that's not true in all other BRs, right? In other BRs, like if you get in a level 1 fight and you win, you're often up good. But is that still a problem in Plunder?
So they buffed it a little bit. So what they did is they just buffed in general like the stuff around the map, but also mobs respawn now. So usually the issue with you farming and fighting people early was that there was a finite amount of experience on the map and other people have already farmed it by now. But now since the mobs respawn, there's much more opportunities to farm, so it's much less punishing to do that. It is definitely still bad. Like if you are landing and chasing someone down and just like auto swinging them and using your one ability with a 20-second cooldown, you're definitely going to fight some level 4s in like a minute and they're going to blow your brains out. Like they're going to kill you. So like you definitely don't want to do that. But it is way less bad than before, I think.
Okay,
they
like,
also massively nerfed the most OP ability of all time earlier today.
Because if a good team lands in a good juicy spot, right? In other games, people would kind of get alphaed off of that spot, right? It's like, okay, we don't want to duel these guys early, right? But in Plunderstorm, that may be less like of an issue because they don't want to fight you early, right? They're not like excited to have other people drop on top of them, right? So you can kind of alpha them back off of it. If you're a less good team, it's like, do you really want to fight us? You want to, nerf your late game by fighting somebody at the start? So it'd be maybe an interesting dynamic. Yeah, if you know, for instance, that the best team is always dropping in a certain spot, like, and you're the 5th best team, you maybe actually have some incentive to drop on top of them.
Also, they made some nerfs right before we're recording this. And if you guys have played Plunderstorm at all, you are probably aware that Celestial Barrage is like the most broken ability ever. It is extremely good. It has infinite range. It's like impossibly hard to dodge. It is by far like no matter what build you're playing, the answer is you're using this spell plus 3 other ones. And they nerfed it, and it looks like by a ton. I'd have to play with it to like see it, but it looks like just infinitely worse and way harder to get hits on. So I'm interested to see because like if that didn't change, the lobby in Plunderstorm would have looked so unbelievably comical in the last circle. You'd see so many teams alive and people are just shooting these things across the map. You could and they do like 25% of your health. You could actually die by complete accident in like the last circle from just things flying around and you just can't even react to it. So very dangerous.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
But it's gone. I think it's gone now. I don't even think you'll play it anymore. This looks like huge nerfs.
Yeah, I was watching a bit of Peekaboo and Zaryu playing before this, and it does seem kind of dead. Speaking of which, have you guys seen Peekaboo playing retail with Summit? Summit actually booted up retail to do some PvP. It was actually kind of cool to see people giving retail a shot.
Hell yeah. W retail.
You know, dude, I want to see some of these guys getting into M+. That'd be crazy. Like, imagine Tyler 1 doing M+. Holy fuck.
Yeah, imagine if we could get some drama from famous creators into our retail M+ scene. Because
wow, that'd be amazing.
M+ it does generate drama. It's just
about people that no one cares about.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But imagine if we had,
I mean, it's true.
instead of like a Dorki growl, fight or whatever, we had like Tyler 1 and Summit beefing about a Siege of Morales plus 12. That would be crazy. So.
Plus, I feel like that would be such an insane crossover because I feel like Mythic Plus viewers have a high crossover with like live stream fail enjoyers. So like they would just like ramp up the audience crazy.
Yeah, M+ is very personality. Like when it comes to the streaming side of M+, people care a lot about the personalities. Like we've seen with the whole Azalea shit. And even when the Ambition non-verbal drama happened, like it was kind of like a nothing burger, but that blew up. Like Max, you made a whole video covering it and it had like hundreds of thousands of views. People actually really care about this.
Did you see that happened again this week on accident?
What?
Dude, it was crazy. I went live and somehow on the same stream that I said, you know what? It's nice that my small niche internet fame is not quite big enough to ever end up about worrying about having to be on live stream fails or something. People just don't care enough about me for that to happen. And somehow on that stream, for the first time, I end up on live stream fails, and it's shitting on pirate software, which everyone else was doing. And I wasn't even expecting to do it. I was even like fence sitting. I was like, I don't know, the criticism this guy's getting seems kind of insane, but also like clearly he did admit fault and everyone hates that, and he seems like, you know, kind of annoying, stuff like that. It's like, okay, but like everyone went too far. And then someone linked me a clip of him talking about the like exploiting shit in the last race, and he called Fired Up a dipshit, and I was just like, dude, this guy's a fucking dumbass and he deserved everything that came to him. And of course I end up on fucking live stream fails for the first time on the same stream that I say that.
That's great. Yeah, I was browsing through Reddit and I saw like some like Max says something about pirate software. I'm like, what the fuck? And
it's just free. Like if you ever want to be on live stream fails now in hindsight, all you needed to do is just like say something negative about that guy, because people wanted to show that guy so bad that you could have just like come up with any clip that people could latch onto.
Yeah,
I was actually on live stream fail once too.
Ooh, what for?
It was like really stupid. I don't even know why this made it, but
Oh, you have a link?
Yeah, I just googled it.
Average WoW gamer clip from Yumi TV's channel. Oh, the clip's gone now.
Yeah, you can't even see
There's always mirrors.
Oh, there's a clip mirror. Okay.
Yeah, we can pull it up on stream.
Oh, I'd fall asleep crying in my bed at night. I wish I had a girlfriend. I'm so alone.
Oh, wait, and that's just from your stream, I guess. Where
that's like this from Growl stream.
No, it's Dorki's. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess
no, that's from Growl stream for sure.
How did that even make it on live stream fails?
I don't know.
I did have a live stream failed take though. So even though I shit on pirate software and that guy's dead to me forever because he said something about my teammate, but I think what Pirate did was kind of a brutal look for sure. But I think that everyone that like has live stream fails subreddit favorited on their subreddit, like that's what they're looking forward to every day, or people that are like looking forward to finding some drama on there, or looking forward to shitting on someone else that like made a mistake on the internet. In my opinion, that is an infinitely more brutal look than anything Pirate Software did or said in general. I just think that's tough. Like that's you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's so overblown.
It's tough look. We do love drama though. Has there been any other like drama happening since then? We did a drama update on the last stream, and that was all of our comments were about. People fucking love that shit.
It was, yeah. We were too pro Pirate Software in general. You got some pushback, Max, for your initial read.
What was my take? My take was
was that you heard Yamato, the other guy, talk, and you were like, I don't know too much about this, but I know that guy's wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about, literally zero information about the situation. I just knew
Dorki was getting some heat for explaining it bad, because if you and I
still think it's kind of bullshit. Like, who cares? Like, wow, the guy didn't admit fault, and then now suddenly everyone's like pulling up all these clips that are funny as fuck. But,
yeah, it's certainly
like funny, but like
obviously it's like a mountain has been made out of a molehill here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This has led to like there's been investigations into previous runs of various games that were allegedly he hadn't played before.
Did you see the Ashes of Creation one?
Yeah,
that was a fucking insane clip. He spends it wasn't actually one VOD. Someone on Twitter did the great job on Twitter, by the way, of like putting like probably like an hour-long VOD into like a 5-minute clip by mashing it together. But it's him just shitting on this person in his party that he thinks pulled this mob that killed everyone and made them lose a bunch of time and like a bunch of gear. I think you like lose your gear for some reason when you die in that game. And he was just like, dude, you're just unacceptable. And then he found out that it was him. And then he still wouldn't admit it. And it's like video proof that it was him that did it. So for like 2-3 straight minutes, he's just shitting on this guy that he found out was him. And he didn't do the like have humility thing where you're like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Like a raid leader saying, don't die to this, and then you immediately die to it the next pull kind of shit. Like that, where you're just filled with shame. He's filled with no shame. He just cannot believe it, denies it, and keeps shitting on this imaginary person that did this thing. That was definitely him. It was definitely like this guy cannot admit fault kind of vibes. Which is something that all gamers hate, I think. That's like a prime gamers do not like that.
Yeah, I think that particular personality type is people detecting that has been a large part of why this has generated so much hate. Although
yeah,
I will say I think at this point it's kind of largely moved out of the popular. Let's see. I last week I did a control F on the front page live stream fail for the word pirate, and there were 17 results. Now there's only one. That's pretty good. That's I think it's died down at this point. No, yours is like 7 pages down now.
We're good now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the world has moved on to some even more sus stuff on live stream fail now.
Is there even more? Is like hardcore classic still stampeding ahead, or is it hit like a standstill?
Oh yeah, there's still like a bunch of stuff happening. So the most recent part of hardcore is there's now a duel between Yamato, the guy who was involved with the whole pirate situation, versus Sardako, some classic sweat. And they're having a duel to the death. Well, I don't know how it works exactly. I believe they're having like a 5-match duel or something, and whoever loses has to like be thrown into the pit. It's the Gurubashi arena. If you guys know anything about it, it's basically an arena where anyone can kill each other. Like it doesn't matter who.
So
jumps
you're basically
in.
dead if you go in there.
Yeah. If you go in there, like anyone can go in there and just kill you. Like whether it's like some random stream sniper or like it could be someone from OnlyFans that wants your ass dead.
Bro, there's 100,000 drama frogs that are playing hardcore classic that are watching these streams. All of them will just go try to kill that guy.
It's gonna be chaos. Well, but the thing is, like, they can also kill each other. There's gonna be like a lot of friendly fire. It's gonna be like absolute chaos, or maybe there'll be some defenders going in there and helping out too, right? So like, we don't know what exactly is gonna happen, how it's gonna boil down, but like that's what makes it really exciting.
Didn't T1 fight
match.
Soda Popper?
Yeah, that was also really hype.
That was for control of OnlyFans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tyler won one?
Yep. Tyler 1 beat Soda Pop, in a renowned Pharaoh Druid player in PvP.
That's sick. Yeah, I heard that had a ton of viewers.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. And also, did you guys see WoW Reddit banned X? Anything
Everything
X related? Yep.
A lot of subreddits have pulled this this particular move recently, which it's kind of understandable. Yeah, like I think there's a pretty legitimate, it's an annoying website if you're not a user of Twitter,
X the Everything app,
of X the Everything app. Then when you click on a link, you don't actually see the post. You just get this annoying like log in so you can start seeing these posts, and that is the kind of thing where if I wasn't a user, it would annoy me enough that I would be like, this is so stupid, and so I'd be in favor of removing links
that makes
to
sense.
that. But that's not the proximate cause of this. It was mostly the Elon Musk heartfelt wave that occurred a couple days ago that is being
that makes sense.
A big source of the discussion on livestream fail is in fact various streamers reacting to that particular gesture. So
he definitely Elon made the unfortunate blunder a couple weeks ago with losing the entire gaming community by being a very clear fraud in video games to a lot of people that I think gamers were probably in general a little pro Elon. I think, right? At least I get that vibe from Twitch chat. Like definitely anytime you'd say something like I think Elon Musk's an idiot, you just get these random people to be like, bro, you have no fucking clue. So like there's definitely a lot of like pro Elon dudes. And I think he lost a lot of them by doing that.
Yeah, the like takedown of his like the Quinn and stuff. And during the inauguration or something, there's a clip of Quinn looking like watching that and then tabbing into Path of Exile where he has him on his friends list. And he's like logged in a map. And then he tabs back over and he's there sitting at the inauguration.
Oh,
like,
that's fucking hilarious.
How you doing that, Elon?
It's a nerve.
I mean, if there wasn't an already amount of like insurmountable amount of proof that he is clearly doing that. Yeah.
So
just know if you guys are ever having a bad day, there's someone in the world who is worth $400 billion that is so insecure that they need you to think that they are a god gamer for some reason. Like that's real.
Dude, the best part, this has generated one of the best tweets of all time and one of the best community notes of all time. The best community note being the Asmongold has many accomplishments in World of Warcraft,
God.
including rank 12 arms warrior and Emerald Nightmare, and I just like links his parts. Like, and that is a community note.
I can't believe that.
Absolute cinema.
Yeah.
And then the other one being, I think, Grimes, like defending Elon's achievements in various video games, like listing them out. Like being like, I can confirm them, I saw them myself.
Dude, when I first saw that community note, it was like I was looking at my phone and I was like this, like a surprised, like, but very happy, like, grin. And then I opened it because you can only see the Emerald Nightmare one, and I'm just like, this is fucking happening. And then I clicked on the actual tweet, and it included rank 50 in Blackrock Foundry. It got even more extreme. Like, when you opened it, like, I wish someone was recording my expression when I read that in public, because I probably looked like a total dumbass.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing, hilarious stuff going on there. Whew.
Yeah, speaking of being skilled at a video game.
Okay, I
Have
like
you
the
guys
segue.
seen?
Have we seen?
Fuck, I forgot what to say.
I don't know.
But it's about being super skilled at a video game. Oh
Dude,
my
there was
god.
something I was gonna bring up, but I completely forgot.
God damn it. God damn it, Dorky.
I had this cooking while you guys were talking about Elon Musk. Whatever.
Dude, I hate it.
Just
I
cut
hate it
this
when that
part.
happens where you like stupid idiots are talking and you like have something good to say and they just keep talking, and then by the time it's your turn to talk, you've forgotten what you were gonna say.
Then yeah,
That's
that
right.
appears to be what's happening here.
But yeah, it was
yeah.
about M plus. Yeah, so
Oh, okay. That has to be
Right.
easy.
yeah.
Bro, how
Well,
much
did you-
harder could it be? You're already there.
No. So, have you guys seen the new M plus dungeons at all?
I've seen the changes. Oh, actually, this is a good point to issue an official Poddy retraction, because
Oh,
one
what do
thing
we do?
we asked for last week was for them to like make some more small blue posts about what they were trying to do with M plus, and they literally like did that the day afterwards, and then they did it again this week,
yeah.
where it's like, hey, here's what's happening with M plus. We're trying to get rid of these tank busters. We want them to be more on mini bosses and less on trash mobs, and
Yeah.
we're trying to do these things to cast. So shout out to Blizzard. They did exactly what we said they should do, basically with those kind of posts.
Was our podcast out when they made that post, or was it?
It's
on
like the same
way out?
time, I think. Yeah.
Damn it! So we can't take credit for it.
Not
So the thing is,
responsibly.
like, last week it was looking really good when I was talking about Floodgate. I was like, oh, they're pushing changes to a good direction. But then now that we got to test the 4 War Within dungeons, those dungeons, oh my god, they've got some problems. Like, let's start with the beginning of the dungeons. The beginning of the dungeons, there's like so many caster mobs that we had a lot of problems with. Mobs that just chain cast bolts on your team. It seems like that's reoccurring. In fact, it's gotten even worse. I know in Rookery, there is a pack with 4 caster mobs that just chain cast. They cast super fast. They do like
Beautiful.
a quarter, if not more of your HP, and like if you just don't kick it, you're dead. So that's a huge problem. And there are some major tank busters in some of these dungeons still that are just like way worse than before, and there's like some crazy healing spiky damage checks that people absolutely fucking hate. So I think that's going to be pretty negatively received as well. And Dark Flame Cleft, the whole cart mechanic, the whole run back of the whole last boss is as bad as we expected. And I mean, I'm hoping this changes, but right now it's looking really bad.
Yeah, I want to separate where the dungeons are at versus what the changes there, because it feels like all the changes I've read have been good. It's just like the baseline of these dungeons was very bad, right? With these,
Yeah, I mean,
like-
if they didn't put those changes in, it would have been even worse.
So hopefully there's enough time before the patch comes out. Actually, I guess that could kind of give us a little bit of an idea of when the patch might come out as well, because didn't they give like a 6-week schedule of the M plus testing? That we're on, like, this is week 3 of that?
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
well, you'd at least know when. Yeah, let's see if we can find that.
Yeah, let me see if
Mythic
I can...
Plus testing, I found it. Well, maybe this will link to the actual like original post. No, this one's just for this week, but there was one like 2 weeks ago that had all of it. I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I found it. I found it. So week 1, Floodgate. Week 2, War Within Dungeons. Week 3, which is this week, Legacy Dungeons. Then week 4 is War Within Dungeons and Floodgate. Week 5 is Legacy Dungeons and Floodgate, and week 6 plus is all dungeons.
So that would be February, like 9th or 10th. That's week 6, right?
Yeah. Week 4 is the 28th. Week 5 is the 4th, and February 11th is when week 6 starts. Yeah, of the M+ testing. So.
Okay, I don't think that really
doesn't tell
us anything.
Yeah.
It would tell us something if it was like not 6+, and it was like this is the final week, and that is this, but that's not quite right. It's
or
more
like
week
this, 6 through 9 or something.
This could exist for multiple weeks of all the dungeons being available.
Yeah, not conclusive. Yeah. Unlucky.
I mean, I still think it's. I would bet on the raid being. I don't think the raid will come out in February. I'd say the raid is like the first week of March or the second week of March.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards March too.
Sense. And Mythic Plus will be out at the same time. Man, and this patch is so cool. It's so fucking cool, man. The dungeon, the raid just looks so fucking nice. Everything is just, it's, I don't know, it's like the vibe. I know some people like the dark fantasy stuff where you're in these like dark dungeon-y type places, but dude, it's like a super bright casino. It's fucking sick.
Going to a casino with the homies,
boys.
You know, fighting a slot machine. Oh yeah, that's where I want to be. Like that is so much better than fighting Silken Court or whatever. For a week or however long abroad.
Yeah, all the tank busters in the raid are called literally Tank Buster.
The first boss one is called Tank Buster. Yeah, it's great.
The one on the slot machine boss is called the Big Hit.
Yeah,
that is the tank hit. It's cool.
Oh yeah, speaking of the raid, isn't there gonna be like a resort or some shit like that where you do all your renown stuff?
So yeah, there's a renown track that the hub is like where you zone in to the raid. The Incontinental Hotel, and so they've confirmed the cadence of this. On week 1, you get Renown 2, and then you get 1 Renown per week afterwards. So week 10, you'll be Renown 11. And it's got a damage and healing buff it's like 3% every 3 Renown tracks. So starting on week 3, you'll get 3% damage and healing buff, which is a lot earlier than we got in Erebar Palace, by the way. And... Yep. It's also got Dinars on it at the end of the track. So it is like 3.5 months into the patch and then 4 months into the patch. Or where
there was a big
Dinars
post. So Skarzar did a massive post kind of explaining all this stuff. That was after our last podcast, right?
Yes, indeed it is.
There's some really cool stuff.
Yeah, there's some amazing, like the flavor stuff in there is phenomenal. You get like repairs, you get a augment rune dispenser, you get like
faster run back.
Yeah, faster out of combat movement speed. Yeah, like a self-res.
The theme is crazy too. Like
the when your healing buff gets better, when your damage buff gets better, you're upgrading your loyalty card at the Galagio Rewards Club. So you get like you start with just a card, and then it's like the platinum card and the black card and the diamond card or whatever. It's amazing.
Yeah, one thing. Good.
It feels so fucking late though, the whole Dinar thing. Like I don't know what you guys think about it, but 4 months in, that's basically a week ago.
Yeah.
That's and we've been done with this patch for like a month already, at least. Like, what is going on? I understand that it's meant to be bad luck protection. It's not meant to like give you.
I don't think you're ever gonna get one in the first month or maybe even the first 2 months, but 4 months is like if you just do a direct parallel to this season, like you're just missing everyone who's playing the game, right?
Right. Yeah. I think that there's some good reasons to not do it too early in a real season. And I understand that Blizzard are always going to have an instinct towards caution when giving us this sort of thing, because it's the kind of thing where it's really hard for them to ratchet it back in future patches, right? Like, if they give it to us in month 2, and it turns out month 2.5 was where this was supposed to be, it's going to hurt when they move it back. But if they give it to us at month 3.5, and it turns out month 2.5 is supposed to be, and so they move it to month 3 next time, and then month 2.5 the next time, like, they can do that movement, and it's a buff every time. But I do agree. Like, I think that it's probably about a month late in this track for where it should be. The problem with, like, you don't want to do it too early, because if you do it too early, it's so like close in your time horizon that you just may as well not do the raid, right? Like, you're just like, okay, I don't need to do the raid. I'm gonna get my BIS items in a couple weeks anyways, right? Like you don't ever want it to be early enough that any people are thinking that, I don't think. Or
Well,
that,
but does anyone
you know,
ever really think that way? Where it's like, okay,
I
I'm not
think there'd
gonna
be
do a
some
raid
danger
just
of
because I
that,
can-
of it, like, you know, removing some incentive to progress if it was too early. But and also, like, you know, you don't want people who wouldn't be done with the patch to become done with the patch because of this being there and then them being done or whatever with it, or it making the patch feel like it's, you know, over or fake or for fun or whatever. Like a, you know, like a faded, because the faded patches had a really short time horizon, sort of by necessity, right? Because it was recycled content, but you don't want that to happen in a regular patch. But I do think that, again, I'm not trying to say that 4 months is a reasonable spot for this to be. I don't think it really is. I think it does need to be a little bit sooner at least.
It just needs to be when Hall of Fame closes. That's my opinion.
I think that would be a maybe. I'd maybe be in favor of a little bit later than that, but yeah.
I wonder why there's like multiple things that have always hinged on Hall of Fame closing specifically. It used to be like Cross Realm being available. I just don't even understand why that is a point to be like, this is when things should happen. I guess
It's seen as like the competitive part of raid, right? It's like, all
Hmm.
right, this is when competition kind of closes because you can no longer get Hall of Fame. So like, what are you really chasing for after that? Aside from like, you know, maybe rank 110 versus 120.
just finishing the raid. I feel like there's a lot of people who don't. I feel like there's a lot
Yeah,
of
but
people
they have
who
like
raid,
plenty of
get
time, right?
cutting
That's
edge.
just like cutting edge. Yeah.
Yeah, but like get cutting edge is a. I think there's a lot more people who care about getting cutting edge than care about getting Hall of Fame. And like getting Hall of Fame doesn't mean they start rating less or anything. They just like kind of know where they're gonna end up. Maybe there's guilds that like are usually right outside of it and they're like, oh my god, we might get it, you know? But you're talking like maybe I don't know what, like 10, 20 guilds, something like that. Although this time was weird. They like increased it by a week.
Yeah, that was funny. Weird. It was, they're just like, yeah, because it's so close to the end of the week, we're just going to give everybody an extra week. But yeah, they didn't really talk about the timing of it in this in the big blue post. They just and it wasn't even one of the stated objectives of the Renown track or anything like that. It's just kind of a
Thrown in there.
Yeah, thrown in there without really kind of a discussion of like why they want it to be this late.
Yeah. Another thing about them that I think is interesting too is that you can't buy Mythic Plus trinkets with it.
Yes.
It's just for the raid. And I think like half of the argument for Dinars is actually the fact that you cannot get a Mythic dungeon trinket. It's impossible unless you get lucky.
Yeah, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm
also
hugely in
nice.
favor of fixing that.
Have a Renown track for M+2, please.
Oh, that would be sick.
That
there's
would
like
be
a-
sick.
Yeah.
And
'cause that-
they have a new reward for M+2. I don't know if you guys have seen, or was it like 2800 or something like that?
Yeah,
It's called
2850.
Keystone
There's
Legend.
Oh, so originally that level was going to have the reward of keys don't deplete below level 12, and now instead it looks like it's a mount. Like there's just another mount. So there's a Keystone Master mount, and now there's a Keystone Legend mount, which I think that's sick. I think more mounts is good. There's a mount at the end of the Raid Renown track as well. That's like the dinosaur from that second boss from the Cauldron of Carnage boss. Oh, there's a raid teleport on the Renown track as well, which.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting because the raid teleports were used as rewards for the Fated seasons, the last two expansions. So maybe this is a hint that there won't be one of those this time around. Maybe, yeah, possible. I don't know.
That is possible.
All right. Let's see what else we got to talk about. Ooh, we've got our Patreon question. You guys want to
Yeah, let's do that.
maneuver over there? All right. This one comes from Stu. This is a good one. Hello, Potters. If you had to create an NBA team with WoW specs, what would your starting five look like? Pod by.
Yeah, this is only gonna hit a few of our viewers, I believe, but man. Okay, so in your conventional starting five for people who are not initiated into basketball, you have a point guard, which is like very this is like traditionally, I guess like more recently in the NBA, there's more like kind of positionless basketball or whatever, but let's just completely ignore that and use like historical ones. You got your point guard, which is like maybe a shorter guy if you have one, very fast, handles the ball a lot, gets everyone involved in the offense, but very shifty.
Which one's LeBron James? Is that LeBron James?
LeBron James is a small forward. He would be the three.
Okay.
So then you have a two, which is like, okay, let's just do three. Three is LeBron James. This is your wing player. This is like probably
Okay.
can shoot threes, but like super strong, can crash the paint, more tall than a point guard. And then a two is just directly in between those two things, like a shooting guard. And then
Okay.
a four is like a little bit bigger than a small forward, They maybe have like less of a perimeter game, may not dribble around people, but they can often hit corner threes, get rebounds, and do stuff like that. And a center, like historically, it's changed more recently, but like historically, they're like the big, tall, 7-foot guy that can like dunk real easy and like gets a lot of rebounds and shit.
That like Shaq?
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, that would he would be a center. Yeah,
And Steph Curry a 4?
Steph Curry's a 1, a definitive
okay.
1. Yep.
Okay.
All the I guess using some historical. Kevin Garnett's a 4. 2 would be like Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. 3 is LeBron James. Yeah,
Alright.
cool. So starting 5. So like, who's the LeBron spec? Who's like the small forward? Like most of the, like, at least recently, like a lot of the actually like most famous basketball players are usually like 2s or 3s. So.
Okay. So what's the LeBron James of WoW specs?
Yeah. Exactly?
Huh.
Does that have,
I feel like it's got to be like Fire Mage.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I feel like they can do everything, right? Like that's what a small forward does. A small forward can crash the paint, get rebounds, overpower you, and also can like be really
So that's the
shifty
main
and
character.
fast. I think like it hasn't historically been that way necessarily, but like I think so.
Okay.
So let's say that's Fire Mage. Then you need like someone who's like shift. I think like a rogue, some kind of rogue would be a point guard. I think
Or a
gets
Demon
everyone
Hunter?
involved. Or a Demon Hunter, yeah, like really, really fast, gets everyone involved. The question is like, who's the center? Who's like the big, tall, fucking getting rebounds, slow as fuck?
Blood DK. Bang.
I kind of
It's gotta
like
be
that.
DK.
They're like giant gargantuans. They're huge. They
Yeah.
got a lot of HP. So maybe Blood DK. And then his 4s and 2s, you're just making shit up. But I mean, we're kind of
Let's get a healer in here.
Oh god, a healer would have to be like a stretch 4, just some boring ass rebound.
Yeah,
shoot
put a
three.
Prez Evoker there.
Yeah, Prez Evoker's your stretch 4 for sure. And then 2 would be like this is Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. They were 2s.
Okay.
Shooting guards. So
Hmm.
Like a hunter?
Yeah. I was
oh
thinking-
god, no.
Yeah.
God no.
I'm just kidding. You could probably be Hunter. I'm thinking like
Like an enhanced shaman.
current enhanced shaman for sure. Enhanced shaman for the last like 3 or 4 years has been fucking insane. Yeah, and they also can like do a little bit of everything, but they don't have the big post game. They're kind of weak. You know, they got like low HP. They can die, but like, yeah, dude, it's totally enhanced shaman. I think that's right.
All right.
There's
Hell
a
yeah.
Pumpkin right there.
So it's Havoc Demon Hunter, Enhanced Shaman, Fire Mage,
Blood DK,
Prez Evoker,
Prez
Blood DK, and Prez Evoker. That's your starting 5. We'd win a
Alright.
title with that for sure.
Hell yeah.
W.
Damn, I learned a lot
God,
from that.
so many viewers are just so confused right now, but that's
No, I think
okay.
they've definitely learned a lot.
They
learned a lot.
maybe
I had no
learned
idea
a
what
little
the hell you were
something
talking
about basketball.
Also,
Yeah.
an extremely creative question. I want to say I like this
Yeah,
question a lot.
we like that. We like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
All right,
think-
the next time they're hearing from us, it'll be we would have done the Creator Royale, and I would have won. God, I don't know if we're gonna win. I just am not confident. I was confident last time, but
Yeah.
this time I just simply haven't put in the time, and I actually can't.
Last
So
time
I
you
just-
did some smack talk towards Dorki, huh? I
Yeah, and then
remember.
we tried to kill Dorki, and fucking Growl ran into the fucking Thunder in a tournament
that.
instead of letting us fight him. That's insane.
Nope, get fucked.
Fucking crazy, man.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week, unless you're a Patreon person, in which case
We'll
enjoy
see you before then.
all of our lovely bonus content that we
Yep.
definitely know in advance what it's going to be.
Yep.
Adios.
Adios.
Adios.